God bless you, my brother. God bless you, my sister. I'm Dr. John Butler. For just a moment, I want to talk to you about a very important subject matter entitled retirement. If I were to ask you today, where were you right now? Where are you, for that matter, in your position when it comes to retiring? What would you say? Are you really financially stable enough that you can sustain yourself when it comes down to that point of retirement? The average American is now retiring at the age of 68. Most would love to retire at 62, others at 65, but for some reason it doesn't work out that well. And now we're seeing where we're working older and older ages of 70, 72. I even know some folk that are 75 years old still in the workplace. And the reason is because, as we well know, when the recession hit, it blew up a lot of things for us. It tore up all of our 401ks. Many people who had savings, they were depleted. Of course, we know about the foreclosure situation, with over 11 million foreclosures took place. It's a serious matter, and it's not one that I take lightly. That's one of the reasons why I decided to come on the other side of the pulpit. Instead of just constantly preaching to folk about different subject matters, I wanted to come out and actually, go into the field myself and see exactly what's going on out there, because I'm not, again, the traditional 9-to-5 type of guy. Never has been, never will be. And it was actually since about 2004 the last time I actually held a 9-to-5. And so I've been a risk taker literally my whole life, which is what we call an entrepreneur. But I found a way to prepare myself for retirement, and it is something called a Plan B. When I speak to most people have never even heard of such a thing as a Plan B. Why? Because we're focusing so much on our daily job, the job that pays us a linear check. In other words, we get paid for every hour we put in. That's what we get paid for. If we work 4 hours, we get paid 4 hours. If we work 8 hours, we get paid 8 hours. Well, there's two other ways you can get paid. The second one is if you become a part of a network, a networking team, then by which you can get paid leverage. And that means from not only work that you do and perform, but work that your partners perform. And then thirdly, the one that I'm most excited about, and the reason why so many people have been receiving letters and things of that sort from me, is one called residual. Residual income is one that is created by you performing one job one time and getting paid a long period of time, literally over the rest of your life. It is possible. It is definitely being done. And it is in a very exciting position to be in when you can see yourself creating a salary that can take care of not only you, but also your family, your generation, and generations to come. I don't take it lightly because, first of all, I had never been introduced to something like this before. Everything has always been show up at 8 o'clock, work until 5 o'clock, you get paid for that day. I had never been introduced to something whereas I can perform a job now and then I'll be getting paid from now until 2020, 2030, and so on and so on and so on. So I would like to encourage you to consider what we call a Plan B. A Plan B is something that you can fall on when Plan A begins to fail. There are no guarantees in nothing, but even moreover in corporate America, there are really no guarantees, because every day somebody's downsizing, every day somebody's being fired and losing their home and their cars and things of that sort, basically because they can't get back to the point of making ends meet. If you have a Plan B, it is a way where you can actually clear that situation up and at least have something else that you can fall back on. A lot of people don't agree with it because basically, again, they have their mindset, their thoughts of what it really is, what it is, what they think it is, what others have said it is, and so they fail to comply, and then they find out later on that maybe I should have just invested a little change here and changed my entire life later on. So I'm not here to influence you to do either or. My thing is to just get you to the point of considering, and then if you consider, you will find out that it will probably be the best choice you have made in your life. I know for myself, no one can sway me any way that I don't want to be swayed. I've been a very strong-willed person after I came into my adulthood, because my childhood, went through some things in life, but it made me stronger. It built my character, and now nobody can sway me left nor right. And if I find that you fight too hard against what I believe in, I just remove myself from your presence, because I don't like being around negativity and people that are pessimistic. I love optimistic people who have a positive mindset on moving forward in life. And so if you walk around me all the time talking about how empty the cup is, I think I'm going to just remove the cup, period, so that way you don't have anything to complain about. And sometimes that's what God will do. He just remove it, so now you don't have anything to complain about. But I'd rather just hang around folk that are of a positive mindset, that are always looking at the cup as half full, not half empty. As a matter of fact, we look at the cup as overflowing at all times, believing that whatever isn't, that if we just believe strong enough, and we keep the faith and we hold on to it and we work our faith, because it's the faith that working within us, that what'll happen is everything will start matriculating into that mode where we know there is nothing impossible through God for us to do. We can accomplish all things. We can do all things through God, through Christ, who strengthens us. And so that's where I am. That's where I'll be. And I do have problems with folk that don't have faith. I have a big problem with people who have a lack of faith, and especially if they've sat under the word for so many years, and even moreover if they've taught the word for years and still don't have enough faith to step out and trust God to make things come through for you. We've got to look at this thing very seriously, because as I see it, there's a lot of people who are just not able to retire. And one of the reasons why they're not is because they really did not have a plan B set aside just in case plan A didn't go the way that they expected it to go. So look into this thing called a plan B. Get one for yourself. Don't listen to naysayers, especially those that may be living worse than you, or living on the edge of poverty or anything of that nature, because here it is again. You've got to be careful who you listen to. Hear what he said, my sheep know me and they hear my voice and will not hearken unto another. In other words, God's not going to guide you into something that he's not going to bring you through. And I believe that I'm God-led by every move that I make. I'm always sanctioning God. Look, God, I'm calling upon him to, look, guide me, order my steps. If you order my steps, then all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord and called according to his purpose. Get yourself a plan B, because it's necessary, especially in these days and time. We cannot make it with just a plan A. We've got to get a plan B. That way you'll have something to fall back on, and then hopefully at that point you'll be ready for retirement. God bless you. God keep you. May heaven continue to smile.